This perp back with another video, and I just got out of checking out this new martial arts film called Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. This movie is fascinating. So, you have our main character in here. He goes by the name of Chan Lok, and the movie starts off with him. First, before we get into that character, like, they kind of give us a backstory on like what the walled city is and who are going to be our major players going into this movie. So then we get introduced to our main character, and he's trying to get a fake ID by going to these triads that go by the name of Mr. Biggs and King, and obviously they scam him and take his money. And so this shit was funny. This is why I knew this movie was going to be pretty lit. And he walks into where King and Mr. Big are, and they're just counting all this money and all these different bags and stuff that are just surrounding him, and he's just peeping out. He's just looking. And once he gets scammed, he takes one of their bags. He doesn't know what's in it. He's just thinking that it's money, and he just takes off. He bolts off, bro. And everybody just goes chasing after him. And this is where he goes into the walled city. Now, this walled city is literally what it sounds like. You know, it's a huge, like, stack of different buildings, and like, it's a very rundown type of area, but it's just all walled in. And what I really like about this movie is the fight choreography, the action sequences. I did not know what to expect going into this. I thought it was going to be, I did see the trailer, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. All I just saw was, people throwing hands. I was like, yeah, I'm down with it. But this is not only really well choreographed, it's very over the top. Think of like Crouching Tiger. They're just not too, too crazy, but it is kind of crazy. There is some really over the top fight scenes, and it really works in this movie. But let's get back to the story, because once Chan Lok gets into this wall city, he realizes, oh, he's in this guy that goes by the name of Cyclone, and this is his turf, and he's a very well respected OG. He ends up taking our main character in and starts to pretty much treat him like a son. Quickly just becomes a part of the family. He has multiple jobs, but he is still kind of scheming on the side, and he still is desperate for money. But Cyclone, he sees potential in this guy, and he doesn't even kind of sweat it, and he's able to kind of keep the peace. But then things start to kind of shift as the movie goes on, as something gets revealed about our main character, and also has something to do with Cyclone, and just maintaining that peace, it just gets disrupted, and then things start to shift. And man, the story jumps around a lot, and not necessarily in a bad way, in my opinion. I think it just kept me on my toes, because this is a 2-hour movie, and you do have to read subtitles, which I don't feel like it was hard to follow. I can understand what was going on with all these different characters and all these different dynamics, but just being in this walled city and seeing how things operate, and seeing how so many people have gotten used to living like this, it's very fascinating. And just the design of it, and like I said, that close combat, close corner type of fighting was really dope. It just made it feel even more high stakes. And once things get revealed about certain characters, that's where the movie really jumps off. But there's still a lot that kind of just keeps your attention. Like, the action just keeps kind of going. But I really like how they just build the story up from the beginning. I really like how they integrate our main character into this group of different characters that almost just feel like a family. But then, like I said, it just all comes back to actual family, and there's actual stakes in this movie. and you never know what's going to happen next. And I'm so glad that I kind of looked up that there's going to be 2 more movies. There's going to be a prequel that's going to be the second one, and then the third one will be called like the final chapter. So sign me up for more of these types of movies, because I really think this is a dope story and a dope martial arts movie as well. If you're really a fan of that genre, this is really refreshing and also feels familiar at the same time. Overall, I would highly recommend checking this out. This is a action-packed, brutal martial arts film with a really layered story, very over-the-top action, some wonky CG. You can, that didn't take me out of it. There's some pretty bad, like, obvious CGI used in here, but it's mainly for, like, the, environment setting. It's not, like, on any of the characters. Everybody's kind of doing their own kind of stunts, even though there is some type, like, when you having the fight scenes, there is some, over the topness. You'll see what I'm talking about once you get around to watching it, but I don't want to say any more, because you should just go into it, and hopefully you enjoy it. If you do get around to checking it out, let me know your thoughts of it in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.